Welcome everyone to our new spring release product update webinar. It's fantastic to have you all here today, and we are very excited to show you around a few interesting things about our products. Today, I'm joined with Johan from product owner sites, and we will be showcasing you a little bit of about our Plauti Verify and Plauti Assign, and talk to you a bit about our rebranding, because of course these names might not be familiar to you, and we're gonna discuss about this in a second. But yeah, let's dive into it. So we're gonna bring some clarity into this. So Plauti, you guys know the company, of course, and for those who don't know, we provide you with the complete data set of solution in data management, which provide you trust in your data to perform confident actions. We have our Plauti Data Management Suite, which is composed by the Manipulate, the Verify, the Deduplicate, and Assign modules. So from top to bottom, from the smallest to the largest data set, you can handle data manipulation, single actions of executions, and work within Salesforce. Verify is our solution to validate email and parse and format phone numbers, as well as validate and enrich postal addresses, giving your deliverability up to the top. The duplicate is probably the one that you will know as a duplicate check. For those that are for the first hours with us, you can find a merge duplicate within Salesforce on a schedule in real time and even with preventive features, and it works across all points of entry. So web to lead, imports, APIs, it doesn't really matter. You are in full control over those. And Assign is our routing engine, which enables you to automatically assign any standard and custom object with flexible no-code rules in Salesforce to eliminate manual work and increase precision and speed. Everything works within Salesforce, within your CRM, and is scalable for the large data volume. Now, what about Plauti rebranding, right? So if you're a Plauti user, you probably have noticed the banner at the top of our setup pages, but indeed we are getting a new look, but the functionalities you rely on remains the same. This is part of a broader brand transformations, which we have started. We wrote an article on this, and I'm going to be sharing you the link as soon as I pass the words to Johan, if you want to read the full story, of course. But indeed, like it's all an ongoing project, which will bring you, of course, through the year into a more comprehensive approach. Now, what changes for you, right? In Salesforce, you can already access our solution through the app launcher with the new names, but as part of the rebranding is started, you might also find our old one, so the legacy apps, which are, of course, as you've seen before, Data Action Platform, Record Validation, Duplicate Check, and Super Round Robin. Those will still be available within the year, but we are also changing not just the names, but also the features. So you might find within the next few months, up to the end of this year, the full transition into the final look and feel. Plauti Cloud has been adapted and updated with the new logo, and the layout remains the same. Nothing changed. Similarly, as for the Dynamics 365 folks out there, the logo and the name has been replaced, but everything remains unchanged and has no difference from before. What I would like to do now is get into the first agenda item topic of today about the product update, which is about Plauti Verify. And for those to remember, this is our validation component. Now, what happened? We have basically made some updates on the job overview. Is a new look, improved usability, and this is also part of the branding features in order to standardize the look and feel of the Salesforce solutions. I have a quick live walkthrough for you to do. This is the maximum of the extent of the product knowledge that I'm going to showcase you today. But indeed, like it's pretty simple. From the main Plauti data management dashboard, you can access to the job, or from the waffle in Salesforce, you can go over Plauti Verify and then enter to the RV job. So from here, you can see already that we basically made the same look and feel as our deduplication component job page overview, where you have the same Salesforce icons and names and the name of the job and the similar layout, right? With the info, job options, and the possibility also to delete jobs from here. On top of this, also the new job creation has been updated to be similar to the deduplication one, meaning it's much more easier now to create your validation jobs. For example, we could do something on the contact phone validation. Oops. And I just said to Johan that I will stick with the mouse today, but of course, muscle memory is the one that brings me to make mistake. But indeed, again, you can, again, you still have your filter ability. You have the validation scenarios here that you can pick up. We said phone, we can pick up phone. But again, if you remember from the RV job feature, you can select more if you want. And then RV status, this was a bit clunky in the back in the days. So now we updated to be a picklist view, and you can just select the features that you want. And the same preview will appear at the bottom. As I hit on start, the job will start, of course. It will be in progress. And we also made some revisions into the results layout. So you can actually access from there, and you can see how this has been updated. So this was also something that was updated during the live validation component that we showcased a few months ago. You can see that we kept the same look and feel as well. And now, again, you can choose to do your manual validation from manual review validation from the job results, or do your auto processes from the job options. So business as usual, right? But with a better look and improved usability. Now, we get to the meat of this webinar today, because a lot of improvement have been done on our assign and routing engine with Plauti Assign. Our Plauti Assign is our solution for a smarter, faster, and more control and flexibility routing engine. It's been boosted for automations, and of course, as you remember, we work with any Salesforce object, all natively within Salesforce. Which brings you, of course, to have, again, your smarter and faster controls, and now with even more features. So today we're going to cover the newest updates, which includes the dynamic assignee and the sync option, the overflow logics, the new operational modes, which are distance-based routing and the plugin-based routing. But in order to do this, I will leave the word to Johan, which will be doing the live walkthrough. You can share your screen, Johan. And what, sorry?
Yeah, great. Thanks, Nicola. Hi all. Really nice that you all joined in such big numbers, and really awesome that I'm also able to show some really cool features that we have added to Plauti Assign. Well, I'm sharing now. I hope everyone sees my screen. So what we, first thing we added, and Nicola did mention it on his presentation, because I thought, well, we have to showcase this one as well, is that within Plauti Assign we have improved the cloning of match groups. And as you might know, that previously we already had that cloning functionality, but it was a bit limited, so it only cloned the match group itself, but not all related records. So that's something we have improved, and that will really save you a lot of time. So, and especially you're going to use the cloning functionality when you have similar match groups. You don't want to set up all the new properties and all the match rules and the logic, because that's really time consuming. So with that new cloning functionality, we can also clone all those related records. Well, let me show you. So let's say we have this, I have some match groups in my demo org, and one of them is the East Coast B2C biotechnology group. And when I open the match group, over on the top right we have the clone button, and if you now tap that one. This is a screen you're familiar with, so it just shows the details of the new match group. It copies all the data from the source match group, and I can update this one. So let's say for this one, we want to create the same match group then for a B2B team. We can update the operational modes, the priorities, or even the descriptions, and for example, also the custom email template that we are going to use. And once I click the save button, it will duplicate or clone the match group, including all the related records. So what you now see is that we now have this new match group. It's called Web Queries B2B for the biotechnology sector. And we have copied the objects, all the match rules, the match rule logics, capacity models, and the SLAs. The only thing we do not copy is the assignees and the match logs. And the reason for that is that the match logs basically are the data that has been assigned, or the records that has been assigned in the other match group. So that doesn't match this match group, so we cannot copy those. And the assignees we don't copy either, because we notice from our customers that 99% of time when you clone a group, you have different assignees where the logic is the same. So that also saves you a lot of time. But we do have another feature in which you can really quickly assign new assignees, and that I will show you after this one. Another thing to mention is that we, although the source match group was active, this new one is inactive, and the reason for that is you are in the middle of setting up this match group, business is going on, so new records come in, and if it's already active, then it would match this record, but yeah, you don't have any assignees yet, so then the records will go to a queue status, yeah, and that's time that will, yeah, if you have an SLA, you will not meet that SLA criteria, so for that reason, we set that one to inactive, then you have all time to change your copied match group. And once you're ready, you can activate it, and then new leads will come in. So what I can do now is just update, for example, my match rules. So open one and say, okay, instead of this B2C, we're going to create the B2B. So any lead that is of the type B2B has to go to this match group. Updated it, and now that I'm ready, I can also assign assignees. So for example, we can click the new button, and then we can, for example, let's say, I think we have James Carter in here, add this one as a user, set all the assignee settings. So do we want to assign records to him or her when the calendar is busy? No, let's say no. And he has a capacity threshold of 2, and we're not going to send email notification, but for him, because he's always on the road, we're going to send mobile push notifications. And once I save it, this user is assigned, and now we can assign more assignees, of course, but now let's say we're ready, and now we can activate the group, and here we go. So this is what the cloning functionality offers, so really copying the match group itself and all related data. That's the first feature we have added. The other one is, and that's a really cool feature, is what you just saw is that I had to assign this assignee manually and then set all the settings also manually. And let's say if I have 50 users, I have to repeat this action 50 times. Well, that's time consuming, as you can imagine, so that's not really efficient. So for that, we have introduced dynamic assignees. And with the dynamic assignees, you can basically add users in bulk based on criteria. For that, we have introduced the AssigneeRules. We have that component over here, and that basically acts the same as the match rules. And that's defining the criteria on which the record is matched with this group. And with AssigneeRules, we can use the same logic, but there we determine which users should be part of this match group. So what we can do is over here, we can create a new rule. We can give it a name. So for example, let's say we can do on a role, I want users with a certain role to be added to this group. Then I have my type over here, so I can choose from user data. I can even select chatter or public groups, so users that are part of a certain group, or even, and that's a new feature as well, we can add skills and then can select users based that have a certain skill or have certain skills. But let's say for role we have the user field. If I open this one, I'm going to see all the fields that are from the user object. I can choose the role ID, and because it's a cross object, I get a second drop down where I can choose, for example, for the name of the role, and let's say it equals the account executive. Create the role, and now this rule is created. So we have that first Assignee rule. But in this case, all account executives are being assigned to this group. So that's something, that's way too many users. So I can create a second one. And that's one of the things that a lot of system admins or Salesforce admins will use is the profile. So I want to assign users that have a certain profile that also is on the user object. Select for profile. That's a long list. Profile. Now I have to type it correctly. Oh. Where are you? Oh. I think I'm doing something wrong. Yeah.
Profile ID?
Yeah. Oh, there it is. I'm looking wrong. Yeah, it's my screen. Sorry. I have the profile ID, also a cross object. And then I have the name. I went too fast, I guess. Then I have the name of the. Okay, we'll go back. Here we are. Then we have the name equals, and let's say for now it's the profile sales user. We can also create that that rule, and then we have AssigneeRule logic. We can say, okay, it's or role account executive or the sales profile sales user, but we can also say it has to match both criteria. Another thing we can do is also we can use other fields like department and divisions, because now I have sales users that have the role account executives, but I want to select users from a certain department. So also from the user object itself, I can choose the department. Let's say it's equals B2B sales, because it's the B2B group. You add that one, and I have a third one. I can update your logic again. But still, it's way too many. It's way too open that those criteria. So I can also say, yeah, but I also know that some of those users are part of a certain chatter group. So I can select the option chatter group, and then select the name of the chatter group. And let's say it contains the East Coast, I guess. And then I have the East Coast. So in this way, I can really build up all those rules. Another cool thing is that we, as I mentioned, is also the skill option. So with the skills, we can say, okay, for example, everyone that has knowledge as a skill, biotechnology, or the skill agriculture. And then it will search for all users that do have that skill. You can even set up custom logic. So, for example, I only have 5, but let's say the users are or have role account executive and a sales user, or second one is they are from department B2B sales or in group the chat group East Coast, or have the skill biotechnology of agriculture. So this way you can really set up all those criteria and select the users. And now with preview record selection, so these users are not yet assigned to the group. You really have to press the preview record selection, and it will show you all the users that meet those criteria. So 7 records assigned. If you do have some non-default settings for the users, so the Assignee settings, you don't want to go through all the 7 records and set the Assignee settings. You can also click this button and say for those 7 users, I don't want to assign when calendar is busy. I do not want to assign when Omni away. And for those persons, we do not send email notification, but desktop notifications only. I can now click save. It stores the settings. And now when I apply rules, it will assign all those 7 users as assignees to this match group and also set the assignee settings for those 7 users. And here we are. So now in total, we see it were six users, sorry, and the 7th one is also there, because when I cloned that group, I added James Carter manually. That person will remain because there is a reason why we added him manually, and the other ones are added based on the rules, and those have the value dynamic, meaning that they come from the rules. Now, if I for example, update the logic back to OR, and I do a preview record selection, now you will see that I have 16 users. So as soon as I change these and I do click apply rules, all users that have the value dynamic assignment will be removed, let's say, or will be updated, and the ones missing will be added. And now I do have, and if you all have 16 users, 15 that come from the rules and 1 that was added manually. So in this way, you can quickly add users in bulk to your match groups instead of going through them one by one. On top of that, what we have added is an option to keep all this in sync. Because users move to a different department or get a new profile, to get a new role, or even leave the company. You don't want to, let's say if you have tens or hundreds of match groups, you don't want to go through all the match groups to update those users constantly, because that will take you a lot of time and you have other things to do. So one of the options we have added, and that's here in the component of the object, we have the assignee synchronization. And once you enable this for this match group, every hour the system will go through the users, will check all users and check the match groups and the assignee criteria, so the rules. Those who match will be added to the match group. So if you have any new users in Salesforce that matches this group, it will be automatically added to this group. Or even when a user is set inactive, or you change a role or the profile and it doesn't match this match group anymore, that user will be removed from this match group. So, and that's the job runs once per hour. So every hour the match group will be up to date again. And that really saves you time. So you only have to set it up once. And if you maintain your users, everything will stay in sync. And you can determine that per match group. So some match groups you might think, okay, we're going to do the assignee synchronization, keep everything in sync, where the other ones you want to do it manually. So, well, I hope I get some thumbs up for this one. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat and we can answer them. Another nice thing is what we have included is the distance-based routing. So with distance-based routing, records can be assigned to the nearest assignee based on their shortest distance in miles between the assignees or the user's geolocation and the incoming record geolocation. So that means that, let me show you. So the way we can do that is I have a match group over here, B2B banking, and this is this has the operational mode distance over here. So you can set it in the settings, which one you want to use, and now you have the options distance. And I added this image as an example. So let's say we have a new lead coming in. That is from Cocoa Beach in Florida. So that was the surprise we had. This lead comes in and we want to assign a user that is closest by to this account. Well, we have Benjamin Lee in Jacksonville. That was like, if I'm correct, it's like 170 miles from Cocoa Beach. Michael Johnson, who is in Tampa, that's 160 miles. And we have Grace Wilson from Orlando, that's about 80 miles or 70 miles or 60 or something like that. But so she's based there. So the record that comes in the lead, Jose Herrera, he or she gets in, matches the group B2B banking, because the match rule says the industry is equal to banking. It's a very simple rule, but okay. And for this object, we have said, okay, it's a distance mode as operational mode. We can do some configuration. So from the lead object, the latitude field should be matched with the latitude field of the lead. The same goes for the longitude. And we can set a radius. So the assignee has to be within 100 miles from the lead's his geolocation. So in this case, it will match the lead to this group. Then it will say, okay, I understand this is the geolocation. It will calculate from all the users that are part of this match group. So those are 3 users. What is the geolocation of each user? It will check it, and then it will calculate who is the closest by, and will assign the lead to that user. So in this case, that will mean it will get assigned to Grace Wilson. But let me show you, because I can talk about it, but it's more cool to show you. So I can create a new lead in Florida, Cocoa Beach. So it's where am I here? So if I say, okay, I have a new lead. Okay, and over here we have activated Plauti Verify, so we can use that screen, which also fetches the geolocations of records. So then you don't have to build anything fancy. You can just use that tool and then our tool, and then it will do all the magic for you. So we have Jose Herrera from company, well, let's call it Sunny Bank, Florida. He's the CTO, the industry is banking, it's the B2B lead, it's not contacted, and we have an address. So with Plauti Verify, we can fetch the address information from records, we can validate it, but also fetch it, and it will fetch all the data from this lead, and it will also calculate the latitude and the longitude data. And now if we save it, Plauti Assign will pick up this lead. It will check the match groups, and then it understands, okay, it matches the group B2B banking. Hey, that's a distance mode, operational mode. So then it will check the geolocation of the lead, checks the geolocation of all the users, and then it calculates that Grace Wilson is closest by and will assign the record to her. So that's the magic you can do with distance-based routing. So it's really a really nice feature. The other one we have, and that's the plugin mode, because you might have a specific process for routing your records that is not covered by our routing methods in Plauti Assign. And that's not a problem, because for that we have now a new method called plugin. And with the plugin method, you can implement your logic using basically 2 plugins. We have a plugin called Match Group Match, and that one is used for when records need to be routed. And Plauti Assign attempts to find the best match group. Then it will find that certain match group, and it checks in that match group, hey, which operational method has been chosen, so, or has been set. So in that case, if it hits a match group that has the mode plugin, then it understands, okay, now I have to call the Apex plugin, and based with that Apex plugin, I can determine, or the system can determine, whether this match group corresponds with to the incoming record. After the match group has been identified then via the plugin, the next step is to assign the record to an appropriate assignee. So then the plugin can facilitate this process just by returning the assignee directly. And alternatively for that, you can also use the round robin and the load balance methods to assign the record. There's even an option to create new assignees through that Apex if needed. So that's really cool. And basically with this, you can build any scenario you want using those 2 plugins. The way to activate it is just in the match group. Is if you open one in the operational mode, you can use the plugin operational mode. Yeah, and on the back end you can use the plugins in your Apex code or in your in your flows, whatever, and then it will be called whenever you want to.
Yeah, this offers a great flexibility, right, in reproducing your own and personalized business logics into the assignments.
Correct. So basically there are no limits anymore.
Yeah, indeed.
Then as a the final feature I want to show you, that's the overflow feature that we have added. And well, basically overflow is needed for when team reaches capacity. Normally with Plauti Assign, the record will get queued, and once a new employee within or an assignee within that match group is available again, it will assign the record to that available user. That's really cool. But if you are in a really high competitive market where leads or incoming records need to be picked up within, let's say, 5 minutes, then you don't want to have it queued. You just want to have a backup pool or a second team that can back up those leads and contact them. For that, we have that overflow feature available. And what it will do, it will, once you have enabled it for your match group, and the match group, and you have a second match group and a third or a fourth maybe that has priority 2, 3, 4, 5. The record will be assigned to the first match group that matches all the criteria. Then it checks, hey, but this is at the capacity. Overflow logic is active. It will not get queued, but will search for the next match group that matches that record. It will do the same trick over there. Is there capacity available? Is the overflow enabled? And if so, then it will assign the record to that second or third match group. If at the end no one is available at all, then it will set the record to a no match status. And then you can build your own criteria or own notifications or whatever you want. Or maybe you have even some custom logic built in. There you have an alternative pool from, well, at the end, then we can assign it to that one. Or send a notification to a senior manager that can pick up that lead to make sure that we answer to the market. So let me show you how that works. So basically, I will show you how to enable it. It's pretty simple. So when you create, let's say you create via the clone, that's something you can do. We want to create a second match group for this one, but let's call it maybe a backup pool. But for this one, we give it priority second. So it has the same criteria as the first one. If that one is at capacity, it will go for priority number 2 and we'll assign the record over there. So I can enable this one. For this one, in the object settings, I can enable the overflow to the next match group functionality. Also did that to the other match group. And from that moment on, every record that comes in that matches that first group, we'll check, is the overflow enabled? If so, is the group at capacity? And if that's the case, assign it to the next one, and so that the records gets assigned to a user can be picked up. And that's basically what you can do with overview and overflow, and we'll really make sure that records and new leads or new opportunities that come in get the attention they deserve. Well, that's all that we have added to Plauti Assign for now. I think really cool features. Really looking forward to your feedback.
Yeah, indeed. And we might already also jump into the next segment of today. Thank you, Johan, for the live walkthrough and for the extra mile with the overflow operational mode.
Thank you.
We have already some questions. So Eve was asking, can we use kilometers instead of miles? Is this something that you can provide us with a sneak peek already?
No, unfortunately not yet. We don't have miles yet, but that's something that's on the roadmap. So I cannot exactly tell when it will be available, but hopefully this year. And they will also provide a kilometers option.
All right. And from the Q&A, I believe there was a question that says, like, do I have to apply the assignee rules to assign dynamically my users, or I can automate it?
Yeah, you can automate it, but that's basically done via the assignee synchronization. So once you have that one enabled, once it runs, and although you didn't click the apply rules yet, so meaning there are no assignees yet, once the assignee sync runs, then it will automatically apply all those rules for you. If the assignee synchronization is not enabled, yeah, then you have to manually click the apply rules button.
Okay. And still from the Q&A, there was like another question. Would it be possible to route only unique records with assign?
Yeah, that's an option, and there are two ways to do that. On one hand, in Plauti Assign, we have to check existing records, so it will check if the account already is available or the lead is already available in Salesforce. It's a bit of a let's say a limited option. The best way is also where Plauti Assign fits in our complete data management solution, is to use the Plauti deduplicate, but also Plauti verify. So in our suite, what we will do is once a record comes in via Plauti manipulate, we can update data. With verify, we can check the data, making sure that we get that the data is correct, has all the data, etc. And then based with the more data we have, we can do a deduplication. Then when it's at the end still a unique record, then we will assign it to the user. And that's the best way to really keep your system healthy, let's say, and also make sure that we only have unique records before we assign them to any sales team.
Yeah, and this was something that we showcased in our last product webinar, which was Plauti data orchestration, right? So indeed, you can create your own orchestration mode where you can automatically route your records as they are getting into the duplication, so into the data quality journey. And for the unique one, as Johan just mentioned, and you can just have unique records to be assigned. All right. Meanwhile, we wait for more questions, either in the chat or the Q&A. You guys can drop it either way. It's fine. We understand that Teams is not the go-to for webinars, but their features are there. So whether you would like to prefer one channel or the other, we can pick up your questions. I would like to shout out a little bit on Salesforce Hulk, which released like a quick video about like a record assignment. We're featured, so if you want to learn more, you can also make a little check over there. It's on YouTube, so it's freely available and easily accessible. All right. Well, if no more questions are coming, I believe that we can wrap up for today. Thank you very much for joining. And if you guys are hungry for more, please do visit plauti.com and connect with us. You can engage with us either with our contact form or via our live chat on the bottom right. And you can start your trials today. We are on the App Exchange, and this actually is free of charge. You can get your experience and test out our solution and the new features that we introduced in the Plauti Assign and Plauti Verify. Up to next time, we thank you for joining, and thanks, Johan, for the product walkthrough. It was great.
Thanks, and thanks for hosting, Nicola.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, and up to the next time. See you.